Alrighty kiddos, since I just assigned you the task of retelling me an Aztec legend, I'm going to illustrate the type of vocal enthusiasm, the type of voice modulation, the type of kind of human storytelling and connection that I'm going to be looking for that lets me know that you aren't just reciting a bunch of facts to me, that you have actually kind of gone into understanding and making a connection with this particular legend. So since I assigned you gods and goddesses, I'm going to go into hero mythology. So what we see here are two volcanoes in the center of the Valley of Mexico. Volcanoes are very important in the Aztec world because the cooled magma gives us obsidian mines. Obsidian, like we read about in the textbook, that glassy, sharp rock that can then be used for our daily cutting implements, for our swords, our macahuitls, and most importantly for our sacrificial blades. So volcanoes being sacred places, of course they're going to get legends associated with them. Some of you have already picked up on this. These are the two mountains shown on the cover of your textbook. They both have what we kind of think of as Aztec speech bubbles coming out of them. Kind of mountains that talk, rumbly volcanoes, of course. So we also see these speech bubbles coming out of drums and ceremonial instruments. They're not for everything that makes noise. They're for things that make noise that are conveying a message. So our instruments are conveying our wishes and prayers and thoughts to the gods, and our volcanoes are sacred, so they're speaking to the gods. So they're speech bubbles, but sometimes we see them with inanimate objects as well. All right, you with me so far? So in the Aztec world, there was a great warrior whose name was Popocatépetl. Now Popocatépetl was in love with a princess, and her name was Iztaccíhuatl. So in your typical way, we have boy loves girl, girl loves boy, third boy comes in and he's not having it. He's super jealous. He's given us, remember the Highwayman? Tim the Ostler vibes, right? He's like creeping on this and he's like, no, I'm gonna make this not happen. And being a general in the army, he sends Popocatépetl off to war. Popocatépetl, being an amazing Aztec soldier, he is bringing captives back, he is surviving, he's not being cut down, but lies. So our general comes in and lies to Iztaccíhuatl and tells her that Popocatépetl has died. Now in every folk tale, what is a princess to do when her prince has passed away? Well, she's gonna die of a broken heart because, you know, that's what princesses do. They're kind of frail. They're not like the rest of us where they just kind of like deal and move on. So she dies of a broken heart. After she has died, of course, Romeo and Juliet style, mere hours after Popocatépetl returns triumphant to the city, he is leading his string of captives behind him. He has come back to see his love and finally marry her, only to find out that she has died. So Popocatépetl, being the tragic hero that he is, much like Romeo, decides he has to do something super dramatic. So he carries Iztaccíhuatl's body up to the top of the volcano. It's dormant at the time. He's not throwing her in a lava pit, okay? So he lights a torch to stand watch over her grave. That's a torch. It kind of got mixed up in the speech bubble, but you get what I mean. So every so often, why do we see smoke coming out of this dormant volcano? It's Iztaccíhuatl's torch. Popocatépetl then climbs to the higher of the mountains, and he stands watching over her with another torch lit. So I am just amazing at drawing torches. That does not look at all like a menorah. Okay, so we'll try to make that a little more flamey, but you're used to my drawings. So Popocatépetl is standing here with his torch. Iztaccíhuatl has been laid out in her funeral pyre here with the torch keeping watch over her. So in our worldview, what is this showing us? Well, it's explaining the way humans like to assign meanings to things. It's explaining why sometimes these mountains smoke. It's also giving them the sacred significance of the obsidian mines by relating them to a very kind of tragic and romantic story, which of course humans like to do. We like to take special landmarks in geography and come up with legends that go with them. So in the Aztec world, we have our military heroism being shown as part of our worldview. We also have our kind of like devotion being shown as part of our worldview. We also have our like not being afraid to die, that we're gonna walk ourselves up to the top of a volcano and kind of stand there for eternity. So we have all of these aspects of Aztec worldview being shown in the legend of the two volcanoes, which to this day are named Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. All right, thanks for listening, and I can't wait to hear your stories.